The progressive left is like a revolutionary army that spends more time debating proper pronoun usage in the war room than actually storming the castle. Meanwhile, the right is already inside looting the treasury and renaming it job creation, setting fire to history books. Somewhere along the way, progressives stopped meaning fighting for the working class and started meaning arguing about the vibe of the movement on a podcast. We've got self-appointed revolutionaries who treat politics like brand management, fighting for clicks, not coalitions. The original progressives were beaten in the streets for labor rights. These new ones get testy when their subscriber counts dip. The left saw Trump squeak by with a statistical rounding error and immediately folded like a cheap lawn chair. Well, guess we gotta rebrand, compromise, and maybe lighten up on the whole workers' rights thing. Meanwhile, the right treats every loss like a setup for a sequel. Rigged elections, state conspiracies, and new voter suppression plans in pre-production before the ballots are even counted. At this rate, the left doesn't need enemies. Their biggest threat is a reflective surface and a mildly critical thought. But hey, who needs real-world victories when you can just ratio a senator on Twitter and then call it a day? Activism used to mean chaining yourself to a factory gate, shutting down a sweatshop, or staring down a cop with a billy club. Now it means changing your profile picture and signing an online petition that goes straight to the digital landfill. We went from storming the Bastille to subtweeting Jeff Bezos from an iPhone made by children. Every day, another purity test. Fail it, and you're exiled from the revolution. Progressivism is the only movement that demands perfection before action. Meanwhile, the right is over here electing people who think that books are witchcraft, and they're winning. We have people out here acting like they're leading the revolution because they posted an infographic. You're not Che Guevara, you're a Canva template with a superiority complex. If social media had been around the 20th century, the labor movement would have been derailed by some jackass tweeting, actually, Mother Jones is problematic. Online activism gives you all the dopamine of real change with none of the effort. You get to feel like a revolutionary without ever missing brunch. It's like screaming "eat the rich" on Twitter, then Venmoing your landlord the rent. Revolutions used to be funded by sacrifice. Now they run on ad revenue and retweets. And speaking of selling out, let's talk about how corporations turned woke into a brand while still paying their workers in meal discounts and misery. Nothing proves capitalism's efficiency quite like its ability to monetize its own opposition. The system is so airtight, you can literally scream, "fuck capitalism," into the void, and somehow Nike will sell that on a t-shirt made by underpaid workers in a sweatshop. Wokeness used to mean awareness. Now it's a limited edition Pride Month meal at Burger King. It's a rainbow-wrapped can of Coke, reminding you that corporations support LGBTQ+ rights. Unless you are in a country where that's illegal. Then suddenly it's all about cultural sensitivity. Every major brand now wants you to think they believe in your movement. Disney made a black mermaid while lobbying against union wages. Amazon puts up a Black Lives Matter banner while forcing warehouse workers to piss in bottles. Starbucks released a sustainability pledge right before throwing away 1 million plastic straws that said sustainability on them. Wokeness is just another commodity now. It's something you can buy, wear, and consume. It's political rebellion without the inconvenience of actually changing anything. Slap a sticker on your laptop, buy the right merch, post the right hashtags, and congratulations, you're an activist. Just don't look at where any of your shit was made. Corporations will slap a fist on a coffee cup and call it solidarity. But the second that fist reaches for a livable wage, they're breaking out the Pinkertons. These people don't care about justice. They care about branding. They'll put Malcolm X's face on a t-shirt but blacklist every worker who tries to unionize. Every time a brand tweets something progressive, just remember, they ran the numbers. They focus grouped it. They A/B tested it. And they only posted it because the PR team assured them it would sell more products. Your values are just another KPI on a corporate spreadsheet. Nothing threatens the system more than real solidarity. So they'll sell you fake shit instead. While the left is busy debating font choices for the revolution, the right is out here playing 4D checkers with a flamethrower. The right sees politics as war. The left sees politics as a group project. The right wants power. The left wants credit. One side is building an empire, and the other is arguing over who gets to be treasurer of the student council. The right embraces coalition building, even if it means working with people they hate. They will literally link arms with conspiracy theorists, televangelists, and guys who think the moon landing was a hoax if it means winning. Meanwhile, the left can't even agree on what left means. Are we socialists? Are we progressives? Are we just Democrats who swear more? Who the fuck knows? The right will take a guy who barely knows how to read, throw him in a suit, teach him 3 talking points, and run him for Congress. The left needs someone with a PhD in intersectionality, a perfect protest record, and a verified Twitter account before we even consider backing them. Do you know how dumb the right is? They literally think Democrats are secret Marxists. The same Democrats who would rather saw their own arm off than tax Jeff Bezos. The same ones who take money from Raytheon and then tweet about protecting democracy. The right thinks the Democrats are running some socialist master plan when these idiots can't even organize a brunch. And yet, despite all that, the left keeps losing to them. To a bunch of flag-waving, QAnon-pilled Walmart patrons who still think gay marriage causes hurricanes. The right is out here making heroes out of game show hosts and football coaches, and the left is still writing think pieces about why people vote against their best interests. It's not that complicated. The right knows how to win. The left just knows how to write essays about why they should win. The GOP could run a goddamn ham sandwich for Senate, and as long as it promises tax cuts and to ban drag queens, it'll win. Meanwhile, the left could resurrect FDR himself, and half of us would be like, I don't know, that feels problematic. If politics were a bar fight, the right would be smashing chairs over heads while the left was debating whether bar fights reinforce toxic masculinity. And just when you think you've got them figured out, the right pulls out the same dusty old tricks. And somehow the left still falls for them every time. Jesus Christ, Charlie Brown, stop trying to kick the fucking football. The left keeps bringing debate club rules to a knife fight and then wonders why they keep bleeding out. But hey, keep arguing about tone while the ruling class loots the place. I'm sure they'll leave us a tip on the way out. The only way to win is to realize we're being played. Infighting is the opiate of the left, a pacifier to keep real revolution off the table. Because at the end of the day, The ruling class doesn't care if you're a socialist, a progressive, or a neoliberal sellout, so long as you're busy fighting each other and not them. If you want to change the system, you have to act like a system, not a collection of bickering personalities with Twitter handles. Power doesn't care about your purity tests. It doesn't stop to debate. It takes, it hoards, it crushes, and until the left figures out how to do more than just react to it, we'll keep losing to the dumbest people alive. So maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop arguing over who gets to be in charge of the resistance and actually start resisting. Who knows? It might work out.